I can't get
Too early to be singing.
really. Me. You.
Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. Hi.
Good morning.
It's us today. We're gonna have fun.
Okay, if you insist.
I insist. We have fun. I'm sorry that your wife could not join us today. I'm looking forward to a time when she can. So
She is too. She
yeah.
was kind of disappointed that the appointment had already been made, but
Yeah. Uh-huh.
she's got to go get a cracking to stay healthy.
There we go. And everybody else had something to do today too. So
Really?
it's like my gosh, what's more important than coming on this show? You knew what I was gonna say just as soon as I said that.
Yeah.
The people just know me too well. I need to change my way of thinking or something.
Well, you're not exactly timid when it comes to things.
Pretty transparent.
Pretty transparent. Not translucent, transparent.
Well, whenever I let the alien within me show itself, then I become translucent. Okay. And Larry's go-to response to a lot of things on this show is, Mark, you watch too many movies.
That's right. I'll believe you when you start molting on camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just molten or moldy?
Molten.
Molten. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that like lava? Molten?
Wow, now I got to look these words up.
Oh, no looking words up. No, no, can't do that. Live. This is live broadcasting. Here we are in front of the world. Literally, the world could be watching right now. We might even be on the Jumbotron on Times Square in New York.
In some concert or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in New York City, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, see, we could
Hey, everybody.
And I'm sure you saw the news clip of the couple that got caught at the Coldplay concert. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about viral? That thing went. I mean, of all the things in the world to be caught at, oh my gosh.
And the dude's been relieved of his position, I think.
Has he?
Yeah.
Well, he's CEO of the company, but I guess that don't mean you're the owner of the company.
Yeah, so. Put him on leave.
Wow.
Which just goes to show you can't hide.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm with you. You
sins will find you out.
You what?
Your sins will find you out.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, it's a basic concept in a book that I think we've read. Both of us have read. So
yeah, sometime in our past.
Cover to cover.
As they say around here, kiver to kiver.
It was what?
Kiver to kiver.
Kiver to kiver? Here's a new word for me.
Yeah.
I'm learning all kinds of new words today. What's a kiver? Kiver to kiver.
It's a strange way of saying cover.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah. Like a Cajun accent or something?
Yeah. Like
kiver to kiver.
A swamp dialect.
I love it. All right. Well, welcome everybody. There's Larry and I'm Mark. And we try to have other people on because it's so much fun to talk to people and have them come up with stuff and do things. And, we discuss it. And Oh my gosh, we on this show, Let Us Reason Together. It's based on Isaiah 1:18, which says, "Come now and let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are as scarlet, they will be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they will be like wool." I know the first part there is what we do during the show, but we rarely ever go. Maybe on our Friday episode, that would be a good topic to go with sometime, is though your sins are scarlet, they will be as white as snow.
Yeah.
Discuss the background to that and what that's all about. But anyway, so we try to divide this show a bit. And by the way, I'm hosting for John Craig, who usually hosts the show, and Eddie and Tammy Johnson join it with him every week. But John is just massively busy with his job right now. And I've been wanting to restart this show again, the show I'm doing, at another time, and sometime I may. But while I'm filling in for John, this is the format that I do, and it's kind of similar to what the other Let Us Reason Together shows do, but a little different. We do words and talk about the different things in the Bible, and then we do the Torah portion in the news. But in this show, because we have so many people usually on, we rarely get to the Torah portion of the news. But I think today we might be able to do that. So Larry, here's a word I just learned this past week that it's not my words that I was going to bring up, those kind of things, but I kind of want to bring out this. I thought it was fascinating, this word I found. It's called femicide. Have you ever heard of it?
Spell it.
Femicide. FEMACIDE. It's like homicide, but it's femicide.
So is it the killing of women?
It is.
Wow.
And in Peru, femicide is a much bigger crime than homicide.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Of course,
Yeah.
Homicide is based on the word hom or homo, which is Homo sapien, is a human.
Right.
And, so it's just in general. But if you kill a woman, if you murder a woman, your sentencing in crime is worse than homicide. I thought that was real interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Well, they consider women to, I don't want to say the weaker sex, but it's as though they can't defend themselves as well as a man defending himself. And so they find that in respect, and that's what the laws are in Peru. I can't find it anywhere else. It's only in Peru.
So, okay. So,
well, I watched a documentary about these two guys, these two pilots that got busted for transporting drugs in their plane when they are only the pilots. And so they had, and it was in Peru, and they had to go through this whole rigmarole of all these different laws, and they're American pilots and in Peru and everything. And during that documentary, it came up about a woman being killed during this whole process and femicide. So anyway, if you didn't know that, which I would say probably most of us Americans have never heard the word,
no,
because we don't deal with that.
I've never heard that on any of the cop shows or anything.
And neither, because it's not a United States thing, I guess, or British or anything like that. I don't know if
there is a standard for women in some countries.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. In a lot of countries, even, especially in Muslim rural
Well,
countries.
yeah, that's kind of a negative standpoint.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's like the extreme both ways.
Yeah.
In Muslim countries, they're no respect at all, and in Peru, they're highly respected.
Well, you could say in Muslim countries they're overprotected.
Yeah, true. Very
You
true.
know, really, really overprotected.
Yeah. Well, some of the news stories that I got back a couple of weeks ago when we bombed Iran, that they were saying that Iranian people, and they've even talked to people in the United States that are from Iran, that say that the people themselves, especially the women, would love to have a different government. They would definitely like to have a government that doesn't put as much religious restrictions on them. And I mean, we don't hear that enough.
No,
It's almost like when we see video of Iran or any of those countries, we see the women walking around, but we get the impression that they all are fine with everything that's going on. And it's
that's their culture.
That's right. It's not democratic at all. And so, hey, who knows when, who knows? No, I'm not even going to say it. All right. Well, there's my new word of the day that I wanted to bring. And so what we do is we talk about a secular word, a biblical word, a favorite Bible word, that type of thing. And so I'm going to start off with the secular word or expression that we find commonly misused. And every time I hear this expression, my trigger senses pop up. And it's when somebody says, with all due respect.
Yeah.
It's almost an expression that will make you think, do they really have respect for this person? Because it always follows with a but.
Yeah.
With all due respect. Not well, I guess it doesn't follow with a but it follows with a negative thing towards that person or against them. It always makes me wonder.
In my classroom, I always called it the pregnant butt, because you knew something was coming. But when it comes with all due respect, it's like they're saying, I don't really have respect for you, because get ready, here it comes. I'm gonna rip you up. And it's like, oh no.
So, I know it's like I have a lot of respect for you and your opinions, but I disagree with what you're saying, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's more of I have respect for you as a person. I just don't have respect for your opinions, or what you have to say, or things like that. And my thing is that it always goes back to, aren't they the same thing? If you have respect for the person, it's mostly because of their opinions. So.
Yeah, it's more that when you're talking with someone that has some kind of importance, some kind of office, or that you respect the office, you respect where they are in society, but you don't respect anything that they stand for, really.
It's more of a common expression that covers yourself. I'm covering myself here. Because I wouldn't just, if you said what you said and then I opposed you, then I would look bad. But I'm gonna cover myself, and hopefully you'll believe that I have respect for you, even though I don't agree with you.
And then when the other person comes back with the same same word phrasing, it's like, well, all respect for you, right? It's like, okay.
Well, with all due respect to you, sir, or with no respect to you, sir.
Yeah, might as well say that.
That might be the response.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a trigger word. Lot of different expressions, are triggered. As soon as you hear them, it makes you wonder. If somebody said it to me, I'd be immediately wondering, what's coming next. Oh no.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't think I've ever used that.
Really?
No.
I'm
trying to think of situations.
I have.
Have you?
I have. I have because of being.
Well, you hang out with a lot of important people. That's why.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was going to say. I don't really hang, not anymore. I used to. I used to know a lot of people and a lot of people with a lot of opinions. In the Messianic lifestyle, there's a lot
of opinions, yeah.
And doesn't necessarily mean that they are truisms or their idea or thoughts or whatever, but there's a lot of opinions. And yes, I have. Go ahead.
There's a lot of freedom in the Messianic movement. That
there is.
Being raised as a Roman Catholic, there wasn't any freedom in terms of expressing what you think Scripture says and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But with the
Messianic life,
with the Reformation, it became a little bit more open.
I see.
And now, with the Messianic movement, it's everybody feels led by the Ruach to express things. And who's to say that there aren't different? If you use the concept of the onion, you keep on peeling away stuff, and there's deeper meanings to stuff, and
well,
opinions are all right.
Yeah, opinions are all right, and it's nicer when you express it that way rather than my opinion is solid concrete.
Yes,
that's it.
I've heard from
what that's
God.
it. Yeah. My opinion is. I don't mean that's what it is. It's my anyway. Interesting. Will do. You got one? Do you have a non-biblical word or expression?
I've got a word and I got a phrase too. My word is directly.
Directed?
Directly. Like
directly.
I'll be there directly.
Oh, okay.
What it actually should mean is I'm going to stop and go right to what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm promising. Yeah. But what it actually means is I'm busy right now. I'll get there when I get there.
Oh, really? I guess, yeah. Okay, I can see it.
I hear that a lot around my week here. I'll be there directly. Okay.
Isn't it kind of a Southern word, though? I mean, isn't it kind of more of a...
Yeah.
I can't say that I have heard it, except I have. I couldn't speak of a specific instance. I just am familiar with the way that that's used, and I get it from older people, and Southern.
Yeah,
and it's where my brain goes with that. So.
And it's funny. Deb and I were talking about that word, and we came up with it like about 3 weeks ago. And then I think it was Friday. I watched the old Davy Crockett Walt Disney movie.
Oh yeah, and
he used it. Well, I'll be there directly. It's like, okay.
Isn't that interesting?
So it's been around for a while.
Oh, I don't doubt. And there are so many words that are so many different things sometimes that we'll talk about and haven't talked about or even thought about for years, and then within a very short period of time, we come across that thing.
Yeah, it's like
that thing happens.
Yeah, yeah.
It amazes me, and it's almost like I just Lord, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Clarify, please, Lord, because something is noticeable. You wanted me to notice something. Here I am.
That happens with Deb and I a lot.
I'll bet. But that sounds like all right, well, I'll be down there directly, is what it sounds to me. And of course, I grew up in the southeast corner of Kansas, so I've heard it before. I just can't place a specific instance. So your expression. We lost you, or I lost you. Hold up. Can you hear me? I can't hear you for some reason. And you're not muted. So I'm wondering if it's my... Can you hear me? I can't hear you at all. I don't know, because it doesn't say you're muted. I don't get it. That's not.
How about now?
Now I can hear you.
I touched my mic by mistake.
Okay, well, I clicked something over here too. I don't remember what it was, and then it happened. So
due to technical difficulties.
There we go. All right, we're back.
All right, my phrase that I'll just say it. When I hear somebody say, "For the love of God," blah 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 blah. It's like, what does that even mean? Because they're wanting you to do something that I think what they're saying is it's only logical that you do it. But I don't know why they say "for the love of God."
For the love of God. Well, could it be along the lines of almost like the "with all due respect" kind of deal? In other words, I would love to say something against this, but for the love of God, God doesn't want me to say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. For the love of God, it's kind of like "with all due respect" kind of thing. I don't know. That's where my thought goes with it.
It's often used within my hearing for the love of God, would you just do something?
Yeah.
Fill in the blank kind of stuff. So it's like it's hard to understand. It's like, but I hear it a lot too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I must live in a different culture than
yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Well, I don't get out much, so
okay.
For the love of God, I don't get out much. No,
for the love of God, would you just pick that up, please?
I guess you have to use it a lot to even know what you're talking about.
I don't think people know what they're talking about when they say it. It's just something that they've picked up over time.
And
which is a lot of the things that we do,
There really is. It's like we hear something, and I don't even want to use the word "we." It's like people hear something and it just sticks with them. I mean, I've seen people that never say a word, and you say it, and then the next thing you know, they're talking and they've said the word that you just said or something, or the expression that you did. And it's just like, it's a mimic, people mimic things without knowing what they're saying. It just seems to fit the sentence that they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to challenge them on it. I mean, if you did, they would freak out that you even challenged them on it. Yeah. But they're going to say it anyway, just because that's what they heard and they think it fits.
There's a phrase that I use that I've never thought about, but Deb said, "What the heck does that mean?" When you should be saying, "Let go of that," I'll say, "Leave go, leave go," and I remember my parents saying that, and it's I don't know whether it's a family thing or if it's a neighborhood thing that I grew up in, but like, what do you mean leave go? So, just leave go. So
I don't know. It sounds like one of those Southern things too. It's another thing I've heard before. It just in passing. So how interesting. Yeah, I say this almost every week is I've got a book full of things. I write them down when I hear them, or run past something or it pops into my mind. I'll run to my book and write them down. And
that's good. That's good.
I got about 100. We can do 100 shows, and I'll be just. And no, I'm not lending you my book. No.
Doggone, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here every week, and you got a book.
I didn't look these up. These are just things. All right. So a biblical word or biblical expression that you find is commonly misused. Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
Noachide. So I'm gonna go backwards with this one. What do you think? What's the first thing that pops in your mind when I say the word Noachide?
Noah.
Noah, really?
Yeah.
How
Noah,
interesting. Okay.
Noah and the flood.
Have you heard it used though? I mean, in general, or by a certain type of people?
Yeah.
And in what context do you?
In context of there's the Jews and then there's the non-Jews, and there's a set of rules that the non-Jews should follow.
I'm with you. Well, you're familiar with Acts 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Acts 15 talks about those that are coming into the synagogue, the congregation, but they are not Jews.
Right.
And, how do we treat them? What do we do about treating them a certain way? And, I didn't do this, but I was going to bring this up. And you watch, you watch a little Peter Kamora every once in a while.
Yes.
Full video shows Peter Kamora. Let's see if it's in here. Doggone it, it's not. Okay, well, I don't know where it is, and I don't want to take the time. But there's one of the things. See, this has always been kind of my deal, because every time I've ever heard the word Noachide used is always by a Jewish person, and they are talking down to you. In other words, you aren't a part of our culture, but you can watch it. For instance, I interviewed a man by the name of Daniel Juster many years ago. Yeah. And, he's one of the big New York Jews that, that's messianic, but they still don't let Gentiles be a part of what they're doing. In other words, you can come and watch and everything.
Right.
That's what he said. He told me is that you can experience the culture of the Jews, but you can't enter in. And I said, so why do you treat Gentiles as second-class citizens then? And he left. He didn't even respond. He just left. And, but that's exactly what it was. And so every time I've ever heard Noahide, it's always been in the second-class citizen, way, expression. And so I asked Yossi on Peter Kamor to explain that, because he uses it fluently. He just uses the word Noahide all the time.
Yeah, I noticed.
As a matter of fact, he's Jewish. He's a part of the Sanhedrin, and he still refers to himself as a Noahide. Himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's the hierarchy. And that's what I was going to bring up. I forgot to put it together for the show, but there's a hierarchy called Yitkis. Yitkis. It's Yitchus, something like that. And it's a hierarchy. And what it has to do with is who is allowed to do what within Judaism, within rabbinic Judaism, within anything that has to do with Judaism. And so that hierarchy lays out who gets to do what. And the way it's looked at today is not necessarily the way it was looked at 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Or not. It's the way it's looked at today. And so it's like we've always understood that, say, for instance, your mother is Jewish, and you because we've looked at our genealogy. My sister used to do major genealogy stuff. Come to find out that 2 people back on my mother's side was Faust. And we went looking that up, and sure enough, the whole line is Jewish. So, but according to Yossi, today's standards is that has nothing to do with anything. If your family has not been fully Jewish for the last 3 generations, you're a Noahide. And it's just a hierarchy. And the way that Yossi puts it is, Noachides have in most sects of Judaism, not all, most sects of Judaism, Noachides have a better life, a better understanding, a better working within the kingdom than even full Jews.
Why is that?
Full Jews have so many restrictions on them. And I mean, even the way they learn and how they learn, what they learn, that type of thing is all restricted. It's all modified. It's all, taken track of. They're taught this certain thing. Whereas Noachides, you can still be a Jew or a non-Jew. And he also refers that Noachides can be someone that just has a complete respect for all things Torah. In other words, somebody that's a Gentile that no longer wants to live a Christian lifestyle, but wants to live a Torah lifestyle, that person could be referred to as a Noahide. So because we have so many more freedoms, it's a lot more open to us of what we can learn and what we do learn and what we do with what we learn, because they have so many restrictions. Their entire life is based on restrictions. And wow. I mean, even when you, do something against those restrictions, in other words, you don't follow them, there's more penalty on you as a Jew than you would be as a Noahide. So Noahides, he said, in most sects of Judaism are respected, and that's his job, is to go out and teach Noahides, what they can do and where all this is at, and what's the basic bottom line. So I thought that was fascinating. It's exactly the opposite of what we've run into in the past, and it seems like, I guess, everybody we've run into in the past have all been so orthodox they don't want to have anything to do with anybody that's not orthodox.
Right.
And there's your restrictions. That's what those restrictions are doing to them, is it causes them to look at others in a lower respect.
Wow.
Second-class citizens.
Yeah, so that has been misunderstood.
Very misunderstood.
Because
of the way they use it.
Yeah. To me, the Noahide laws are less restrictive. You can eat whatever you want to eat, and as long as you do like 3 or 4 things, that's all that you have to do. Whereas, and they're, to me, Noahide laws were like the separation in the temple, keeping the Gentiles away from full relationship with the Creator. But
now, if you go back and read Acts 15, it means something completely different.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about they can do these things and they can't do these things. So many different things. And I find that fascinating, because it literally lines it right out there, the hierarchy, and it's still, it may be a little different in some respects, but it's pretty much the same today as it was. They're allowed to come in. They just have we have more restrictions. They can and can't do something.
Right. Okay.
When it's involved in the synagogue services.
Yeah. And then at the end of the ruling, the statement, isn't Moses taught every week in the synagogue? That's for them to digest then and to decide if they want to stay with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's like the very first Messianic synagogue that my family ever went to, just to go check it out and see what it was like. They asked me my name at the door. When I told them Smith, then they told me where we could sit, which was in the back two rows, anywhere but in the back 2 rows. And we could not get up and be a part of the service in any way, anything like that.
You could just observe.
But we could observe, right? Which to me was the exact opposite of what should have happened.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I think it's fascinating, and it gives me a little bit more respect of the whole idea of what they're doing and how we do what we do. And we need to stick with where we're at, and not pursue. That's like when people pursue being Jewish, they want to be Jewish. Man, you don't want to. You do not want to.
Right.
Even if it's in your genes, But anyway, there we go. So,
and therefore, you have the misunderstanding of, like, my son says, I don't want to do this messianic stuff because that's all cultural, Dad. It's all cultural. It's like, well, no, it's not. Well, it is cultural. It's the culture of the Creator.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's not. The messianic movement is not Jewish.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I try and get that across to people too. So now you're Jewish, huh?
Well, no. I'm a Noahide.
Yeah.
See where that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
yeah. You ought to start a whole new movement. Well, anyway. All right. So, do you have a biblical word?
well, the phrase
Yeah.
from Romans 3:10 says, "There is none righteous, no, not one." And to me, that is so misunderstood, because it's especially since I got into the Messianic movement, Messianic lifestyle. It's like, oh, you're trying to be righteous. There is no righteousness. But that's not what it's saying.
Yeah.
There is none righteous. And Paul was quoting from Isaiah, and it wasn't a very good, he was kind of paraphrasing more than actually quoting, because Yeshua said, "Seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness," talking about the Father. So if there's no righteousness to seek after,
right,
you get into problems. You
right.
really do. And it just is misunderstood, because there is an agenda behind interpreting scripture all the time.
Yeah.
There's definitely an agenda.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. I used to be a hellfire and damnation preacher.
Yeah.
I used to do tent revivals with 2 other pastors. And let me tell you, that's one of the biggest yelled verses that there is. There is none of you are righteous. No, not one of you are righteous. Get saved today or you're going to hell tomorrow. And I remember that being preached a lot. And the whole idea behind hellfire and damnation preaching is to make you realize that your sin is an abomination to God, and if you say you want to please God, then you'll recognize this and repent. And I mean, it's so funny. You could just say those words and be done, but most of them can go on for a good hour, preaching the same thing, but in about 14 different ways. So anyway, I think that's interesting. That's
and I don't see any place for that, because the original quote from Isaiah, they're talking to the people of Jerusalem that the Lord is trying to get to repent, and if you are seeking righteousness of the Father, and you are actually following his Torah, you do have righteousness. It's just not your righteousness. And we talked about this in a couple Fridays ago. Right. It's not your righteousness. It's the righteousness of the Father. So make that clear when you say that.
Well, in Jude 1:23 is this: save some by fear.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got to scare them out of hell into heaven, then I guess you have a scripture to back up your. That was the basic scripture for hellfire and damnation.
Yeah,
save some by fear.
Yeah, and it, like, I don't know if you remember the program Scared Straight.
Yeah, sure.
When kids were taken into jails, and the inmates would deal with them the way that they would deal with someone that's actually in there, and that would scare the snot out of them. So
yeah. There's still shows along the same concept. They still do all the time. So great one. You're dead on. I agree. Okay. It's funny, all the stuff we're talking about, and I have written in my notes favorite Bible word and why is sin. Favorite Bible words.
I love the word. You got to explain that favoritism there.
Didn't really say I love the word. I just said it's one of my favorite words. Well, I think it's because that it is a biblical concept. It's not a secular concept. When you take that concept over into the secular realm, what you're doing is just you're replacing sin with crime.
Yeah.
In other words, because sin is a going against the law, which would be lawlessness, and it's the same thing. Secular crime goes against law and the law of the land, and so it's important that both terms and both understandings are recognized by everybody is the only way that we can live together. Me recognizing my sin, you recognizing your sin, and dealing with that personally, each one of us individually, helps us to communicate, believe it or not, with each other. Mm-hmm. Because if we were so burdened and guilted down, we all have known people in our lives that are just full of guilt and they're full of burdens and they are so hard to get along with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because they're not recognizing their sin or their crime or whatever it is that's depressing them and dealing with it and correcting it, then they have a hard time communicating. And it's the same thing with criminals. You know, if criminals don't deal with being a criminal, it's hard to live in society.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's an extremely powerful word in itself.
My thoughts on that are that, like you said, when it's taken into the secular realm, what has happened over the time is that sin has been diluted from being against the law of God to being simply against the norms of society. And in that way, it gets muddled. And the church has actually accepted that thing. Like example, cussing, which is shortening for cursing. You know, What is cursing? You're actually saying the shit word is cussing. You shouldn't do that. That's a sin. Well, nowhere in Scripture does it say that. That's a word that's not accepted in society.
That's exactly right.
You know, so I think what the Messianic lifestyle has shown me is that get into exactly what the word said is sin, rather than blend it with all these society things, and then you can actually approach righteousness that the Father accepts. You know, wow. But really? when you're running around saying all these things are sins because they're against the norms of the society, you kind of dilute the concept.
Yeah, you know? That's true. That's good.
It's a little sin, you know. It's not that big of a sin, but so yeah, sin is a very important word, and I would agree with that.
Yeah, interesting. It's curse words. That's interesting. You know, it's so funny because most curse words are actually words that in their true meaning is perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. You know, you probably wouldn't use that word to describe that thing, you know, but the word itself, what it describes, is perfectly normal.
Right.
You know, in a lot of different ways. But because somebody, I guess, decided to use it derogatorily, you know, then it.
And societal norms change with time. Like, look today, the F word is so accepted now as being an adjective for everything.
Yeah,
it's like,
I agree.
That's profane, and the word profane means it's not accepted by society. It's not a cuss word; it's a profane word. So,
it always bothers me when I'm watching a time sensitive movie or documentary or something of like 100, 200 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're using the F word commonly in there. It's like, you ruined this stinking thing, man, because I know they didn't talk like that.
Right.
There's no way they talk like that.
Well,
and it ruins the whole thing.
Especially in military things like that. I watched revolutionary movies, and I had in my classroom a plaque with a command of George Washington that said that any officer who uses profanity or cursing will be demoted on the spot. And it's like, well, there it is in black and white, and you can't go by what Hollywood says.
Well, I got an example for you that totally freaked me out one time. In Oklahoma, when you go get your driver's, your tag renewal. In Oklahoma, they're private businesses, and in a lot of places they are. They aren't in North Carolina anymore, I don't think. They used to be when they are. Well, they aren't here. In Brunswick County, they are not. You have to go to the government office for tags and all that kind of stuff. You're in a different county though, I think.
Yeah.
So see, I think in this county they don't, but in Oklahoma we did, and I'll never forget standing at the window, ladies over here helping me, and I'm here, and I look behind her on the wall. And there's all kinds of these notices and things they put up to remind them. But right over there on a piece of paper about that big it said, according to something like this, according to law, and they lined out the numbers and everything. It is against the law to curse in front of a woman. And that, I looked it up. It is an active law even today.
Wow. It's not been rescinded.
No, it's still a law today. And I thought I know why they put that up there. People get upset. They start cussing. Well, look at that. Look behind me, buddy. You say another one and you call the cops. But so isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that. Okay, real good. I love it. Okay, my favorite Bible character for this week is the king who took Sarah and then gave her back to Abram and yelled at Abram. I don't know what the king's name. I didn't even look it up. But that thing pops into my mind. What integrity? The king was just doing what the king does. But when he found out it was Abram's wife.
Yeah, it's like Abimelech.
Was it Abimelech?
Yeah.
Okay.
Abimelech first.
I didn't look it up. But,
both he
and in my mind all the time.
Both he and his son did the same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
When you first start reading it, it's like, man, this is a horrible king to do this and everything. But then when he gets back, it's like, wow, good guy.
Yeah. And he was offended that Abram wouldn't even trust him.
That's right.
That's character there. That's good. That's good.
So that's my favorite Bible character. You got one?
Well, you forgot to let me have my first Bible word, my favorite Bible word.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, go. I'm so sorry.
I don't know if I'm going to do it now.
Whatever. Is the word offended? Is that the word?
No. My favorite, and it's a Hebrew word, hine, which means behold. I love that whenever I see that, because it's like something good's coming, or something from the Lord is coming. Like hine mato, how good, behold how good, and it just speaks goodness for me. It's like, get ready, because and even on the negative, behold, don't be doing this, because I'm your God and I know it's best for you. So that's like a key word that just
I love it. Very good. I am burning up in here, and my air conditioner is not cool. It's been a lot warmer lately. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, like I'm waking up to 80 degrees now.
Oh my gosh!
And it's
unreal, and I'm just sweating away.
And the humidities, we're 80 when we wake up here, 80% humidity, if not higher, and 80 degrees. My favorite character.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters is Bilam's donkey.
Is who?
Bilam's donkey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like he was sensitive to the spiritual aspects of his surroundings. I mean, compared to us, and most of the times we have no idea of the spiritual things that are going on around us. And and he's ready to respond about it. Can't you see this guy here? Why you keep on beating me? Can't you see him? And his shock that his master can't see him. I mean, that speaks volumes to every believer. So.
Wow. Good one. My gosh, I like that. I'm thinking through this. It's as though us humans get so caught up in everything that is happening in our world. We get so caught up and so busy and so everything going on all the time that we are too focused on the physical and not the spiritual.
Yeah.
Whereas a donkey, all I have to do is eat and walk. Where you tell me to walk, I'll go there, the whole thing. And so they're not having to be stressed out over life. And so
that's good. Yeah. And how can we can apply that to ourselves? It's like, I often think our modern age, how many different ways our life has become more easy, less burdensome, which should give us more and more time, to do things spiritual. But what do? We fill that extra time with more physical things. It's like
we do.
We're shooting ourselves in the foot.
There's an expression for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I should. I like it. And they used to call me 100-mile-an-hour man, because I went constantly. I didn't, even on Sabbath, I would have to find something. Resting was in there. It's in there somewhere, but so anyway,
you got to teach yourself to rest on Shabbat.
Yeah,
you really do.
Yeah,
it's and I imagine from the beginning that it wasn't so, because you mainly did physical work in the beginning, and you were so glad that there was a day off, but the more and more unphysical work that we do, our mind just races about things that we have to do. And it's the mind that drives us, really.
Yeah, it is. We, self-control, gifts of the Spirit, that pops into my mind all the time. I mean, that really goes along with sin, is self-control, so that you recognize sin and deal with it, however you have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even in crime, if you're a criminal, if you're going to be a criminal, have self-control and be a criminal, or you're going to get caught. I'm not advocating that.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I'm just saying,
but it's a truism. Yeah,
it is the truth. It's exactly right. And they made a million movies about criminals that didn't have self-control and they got caught.
They got busted. Yeah, yeah. In all that you do, have self-control.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I like it a lot. I want to go back to your Bible word, behold, right?
Yep.
But, it's kind of like Selah.
Yeah.
The way you described it and the way you look at it and everything made me think of the word Selah, because behold is like, it's a trigger word. I like that word trigger, because there's so many things that trigger us in so many different ways. I've really learned to embrace that word. And to me, that the behold is a trigger word to make you know that something great is coming. And Selah is like, stop and take a look at this, because it's a behold. Selah is a stop and look at this, because it's a behold word. So I kind of think both of them are real similar.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like when I'm commenting on articles and stuff online, I like to end it with just saying, which I picked up other people saying, just saying. It's like, you can take my opinion for whatever way you want, but think about it anyways, just saying. So.
Well, now, there's a what do they call it? Not an expression, but a physical way to express just saying. It's like, just saying.
I like it.
I've used that a few times.
And I can imagine, because I've read so many comments. I like, after reading an article, I like to see how people are commenting about it, and I love it when someone just really rips up something or some concept, and then they end it with just saying.
Just saying. Yeah.
It's like,
you might find this important, you might not. It's just.
It's like they're, after screaming at something, just saying.
Considered for your approval.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you for your attention to this.
There you go. That's it. I love it. All right. Well, we did exactly what we normally do with 7 people or 6 people. We went an hour, went over an hour almost, and just using words. And we've cut it way down, and we still went there.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you can take a word, just a word, and go off on it. I love it. I really do.
Especially in the English language, because I would say that besides Chinese, the English language is the hardest for an immigrant to learn, because there's so many nuances in every word.
Very true.
It's like,
very true. And the dictionary's like twice as thick as it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
In the English language.
Yeah.
Not so much
because it just absorbs everything that comes its way.
Yeah. Well, no, Mandarin is the hardest one to learn.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I don't mind.
Yeah, I understand that the same word for mother is the same word for donkey and stuff. It depends upon the I don't know how you say it, how you emphasize the syllables. So it's like, you better be careful.
It's very expressive in every single thing, and how they say it is very expressive.
I love going to our local Chinese restaurant or takeout place and just hearing them talk in the back. It's like, are they angry at each other?
Yeah, I know. That's why I only learn Chinese cuss words. Because then when I get upset and I just speak in Chinese, then I really don't know what I'm saying. But it's like cussing, but not bad cussing, because I don't know what I'm saying. It just sounds bad.
There's the lady at the counter. She'll do that, and she'll turn to me and go, "And how are you today?"
Yeah, I know. I love it. I do. I love it. Words, man, expressions. I love it. It just our life. It makes our life more fun, I think. So
yeah.
Okay. So we let's talk a little bit about the Torah portion. It's got all kinds. It's a double portion, so it has all kinds of stuff in it. You read the first part of it, and it talks about vows with women, wives and husbands, and all of that. When in fact, I would say back when that was written. When that was written, they didn't have nearly as much of a problem with husbands and wives as they do today. And that it always makes me think when I come to this portion about marriages in the United States compared to marriages in other countries. It's just massively. I think sometimes I hear it's like 50% divorce and all that type of thing. And it's just even Christian marriages, they do polls on that, and it's exactly the same thing as secular marriages, so it's I don't think our society as a whole knows what a vow really means, or takes it seriously. Let's put it that way. Yes. I think maybe we know what it means. We just don't take it seriously because everything is too okay. It's too okay. It just doesn't matter. We don't care, type of thing. And I think vows are one of the biggest downfalls of our American society is the vows and promises that people make and never keep, type of thing. We just let those things be. No big deal. It's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission.
Yeah.
And because most of the time forgiveness doesn't really incorporate any kind of reprimand, and so when we live in a society that basically looks at it like that, then it just spreads out through society, and that's the way people do everything, I think. And that's kind of the way I look at it. Vows are not important.
Right. And we take our cue from our leaders.
True.
And when leadership does not keep their vows, it just spreads down, So it's a sign of our society. I don't know when we're talking about the vows of between husband and wife, and what this Torah portion is talking about, and making sure that if your wife says something, that you have to okay it. That, like you said, that's not really in our society norms anymore. I mean, that gets to be ridiculousness, and it stems from the pendulum swinging one way to the other. The marriage contract being so concrete and male dominated, swinging the other way, where you have a little bit more freedom for the wife, and then extreme freedom for the wife, and then how do you counteract that? Well, you start swinging it back again, and I think it all has to do with how we choose our mates. For centuries, if not millennia, love was not a big part of putting people together.
Right, very true.
And I still believe that you can seriously learn to love somebody. Once you get to know them, and if you can't, then you have no reason to be mated with that person. So there's got to be more time that we should get to know each other before we make that vow.
Right.
And understanding the importance of that vow will make you be more careful in choosing. But you're right. In our society, vows, they're just a ceremony that you go through.
Yeah, they are. It's like movies make a joke out of it sometime when they're man and wife are standing there at the pulpit and they're saying their vows back and forth to each other, and one of them says, "Till death do us part," and the other goes, "Well, maybe." And they've made a joke out of it, because it is a joke. It's just not serious. I'm with you 100%. It's so funny because I just thought of that taco expression that they put on Trump. Trump always chickens out. You hadn't heard that?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's been all over the place in a lot of different. When people are talking, they call Trump taco because Trump always chickens out. Well, that's not true. He always follows through with everything, and they've really backed off of that saying. In the first month or two when he was putting things together, and they weren't done with Doge, and they were still starting things. But they said, "Don't worry about it because Trump always chickens out." He says big stuff, but he never follows through and finishes. It's not just not true. As with 99% of all the things the Democrats say, it's just not true. And so it's kind of the same thing is that you're right, the leaders of the country have to be more visible and transparent to the vows the promises that they make to the people, because the people remember. And when you don't carry those out, it's multiplied a million. So
they used to get by with that because communications weren't that intricate. You would elect your senator, and you would elect, and that would be the last you hear of them, except for the news headlights in the newspapers. But now everything that's happened in the last 5 minutes.
Sure.
If you're seeking it out, and that they just haven't. They are being uncovered as being very. I can't. Untruthful people.
Yeah. Right. Sure.
Seeking power for power's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And that's nothing new. You look back at the temple system during Yeshua's time. That's what they were trying to protect.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be set up. Is that we look to those people, and they are our leaders are influencers. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't see it that way, but they are major influencers. And boy, when you're against them, you're really against them. So all kinds of things. So vowels, yeah, it's just common anymore. Mundane. So what? I'll do this. Well, okay, we'll believe it when we see it.
Yeah. Ceremonial.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's good. I like it. Wow, we might even get to news today. How about that? Where do you get your news from?
From the internet.
You have specific places, specific people that you like to watch, or
the people that I watch, they present not only their side of things, because you can't get straight news anymore. You can't get someone to say there was a fire down in the federal building downtown.
Yeah.
And people are being accused of having started it, period. They don't. And the people that I watch, they present the opponent's side, and that's what we've gotten into in terms of politics now. We have the people in power, then we have the opposition. It's like the British system now, where you don't have two political parties that are working to make the country better. We have the people in power, and we have the opposition. Whatever the people in power say, the opposition says the opposite. So when we're talking about, like, we watch the Rubin Report, we watch Dvory, and these are all on YouTube stuff that we can pick up. And even we watch Gutfeld to get a little humor in the news and stuff like that. But for the most part, the stuff
you watch Gutfeld?
Yeah. For the most part,
I cannot start my day with a full hour of Gutfeld. I cannot start my day without it.
Yeah, we enjoy it.
I didn't know you watched Gutfeld.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We
enjoy. I like his guests.
Yeah. The variety of guests that he has.
I don't know that I can necessarily suggest it on this show, because it is some very rude humor on that show. You have to be able to have a thick skin and let it fly over you if you're going to watch. But man, some of the things they say on there are so dead right. They are just spot on with so many of the things that Gutfeld and all his guests speak, that it's exactly the way I think. It's exactly what I think about. It's what they talk of, the news stuff they talk about. I have to say Tyrus is by far my favorite.
I would say that,
it's so dead on with everything he says. He is so good.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, I can't. It's on Fox News. You look it up if you want. I'm not recommending it because it is so crude. But if you can get past that and you don't mind it, then I do suggest that. What I do is, let's see here. I go to Fox News, and this is foxnews.com/video/topic/latest-news-video. And what I do is will go on here and go through their little segments. They're like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. See, they're less than, most of them are less than 6 or 7 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you get, it's very opinionated, but it's based on what we believe. It's based on, the news that we go with, and it's very Trump positive. It's all that. And so this is where I go, and I'll zip through them all. What I do is I look at the headlines. There are some people that I like more than others. There's some I won't listen to, but I read the headlines of the video. And if it's something I'm interested, then I click on the video and I watch the video. That's where I go first for different newses. And then I want to see what the other side is doing. The other side, the legacy news media. What are they talking about? And I'm a big believer in no man goes to war without counting the cost. If you don't know what your enemy is doing, then how do you fight your enemy?
Exactly.
And so what I do is I'll go straight over to Paramount because that's CBS, and I'll just jump right on. That's slow this morning. But I'll jump over to their news and I'll flip through their different ones. That's not doing it. And then I'll go over to Hulu because Hulu has ABC News, and you can click on news there. Boy, I am running, so I think it says broadcasting. And you can see it's kind of the same type thing with the videos. Well, everybody's being real slow today. So anyway, it's the same type thing with the videos, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to watch. But you get to know, once you watch these, the legacy media news deal, you get to know the different newscasters and what they're going to say. You could almost, depending on the topic, where they're going to go, or the little nuances they're going to add to whatever it is, or facial expressions, things like that. You can just tell. There's a couple of them on there that I guarantee you, if you watch anything political, they're going to trash Trump all they can without trashing him, because they've been sued so many times by Trump. They're a little careful, but it still gets out there. Stephanopoulos got sued for $15 million for what he said.
Yeah. And even in the questions that they ask, the arrangements of the arrangements of the words that they use in the questions, it's like you got to be there's got to be someone writing these questions for them, because they can't put that together spontaneously to be so careful in their questioning and still get the zinger in there.
Well, my question has always been, do you have to have that mentality against Trump to work there? I mean, it's like CBS, NBC, ABC. I mean, if I was there and I liked Trump, I wouldn't be able to express that. I wouldn't.
No.
I would love to interview just somebody that works there. You know, not one of the newscasters or anything, maybe a cameraman or something, you know, and, you know, specifically ask specific questions, you know, that would reveal those things. I wonder how many plead the fifth that I'd have to
get. that would be, yeah, because it's not a matter of, like, for cameramen and technicians and stuff, that it's not a matter of climbing up the ladder for them. It's just holding on to their jobs, you know. Yeah, so right. They will. I'm right. betting they would plead the fifth on all your questions.
Well, we're done. It's time to go. Hey, we covered all 3 topics today.
Yeah, we got. It's incredible. We don't need all these other people.
No, we don't need those people. Yeah,
but people will get tired of hearing our opinions all the time.
It's fun. It's fun, though. This is what I like.
Yeah.
Well, I only have one other question, and you don't get to answer it, but I'm going to put it out to everybody. Who invented the stinking auto pen and why?
Ooh, I know this one.
Okay, real quick. You got 30 seconds.
It was Thomas Jefferson.
No, the auto pen?
Yeah.
Really?
He developed it so that because he got tired of signing his name and stuff like that.
Really?
And it was like the first copy machine too.
I'll be doggone. I did not know that, but it's like, do we really need it? Do we really have to have it? Anyway, we're gone. We'll see y'all next week. We'll be back unless John's back. I never know when he's coming back. So I'm here until he comes back. So and Larry is too.
I guess so, yeah. He drags me along with him.
We're here until John comes back. So we'll see y'all next week. God bless. Have a great week.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
If you missed today's show or want to watch it again, or want to tell someone where they can watch this episode, go to lambnetwork.tv, where you will find this show and all the other live Lamb show archives in the on-demand section of the website. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to tell someone about the Messianic Lamb Network.
Should be white as snow, white as snow, white wool.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, and yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussions, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the lambnetwork.tv website. I'm Tammy Johnson, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.
White as snow, white as snow.